you remember the first story that was so spellbinding that it drove you to break the rules and stay up all night? To keep reading, keep listening, keep playing? So good you forgot your life and lived there?
So good that the moment it ended, you asked yourself, what next?
Welcome to the Flore. Our goal is to take you back, take you deeper, to explore and understand more, and relive that childlike wonder.
Join us as we dive deep into humanity's greatest stories, no matter how they are told, through books, movies, television, even games.
One of us does an in-depth research on our topic. One of us is familiar with the topic.
And one of us knows nothing. So the right questions will always be asked and will be addressed for anyone coming into the topic, regardless of how much you know.
Enjoy another world, another adventure, another spellbinding story. Join us on the Flore. Welcome to the Flore. We are still in the DC animated universe in the New 52, continuing through the storyline there, and we are now into Batman Badblood. Now, there's been a lot of Batman in the New 52 so far, which is surprising. We begin with the Flash, and then we kind of just go Batman. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, and we'll probably end up doing a short on Batman, maybe just his total history and everything, maybe to add some clarity to everything going on, or just more lore on him. In Bad Blood, we have our introduction to Batwoman, and so it begins with Batman having to save Batwoman, and in so doing, it looks like he dies, and he disappears from Gotham. Nightwing dresses up as
But
Batman.
she takes up the mantle.
No, she was already Batwoman.
Oh, okay.
He did not want her getting involved. He didn't want her there. And then he has to save her life, and that looks like what kills him. So Dick Grayson puts on the Batman costume after it looks like he's been missing for a while, just to make it seem like he's back.
15 hours, 15 days, 8 hours, some amount of minutes.
Yeah, Damian Wayne decides to come home because Batman is missing, and he needs to find out what happened to his father. Then Batwoman, who thinks she saw Batman die, goes hunting this new Batman to find out what happened. And it is there that she encounters Damian and Nightwing, and she's like, you are not him. And so now she knows that Batman is still missing. So she takes him to the place where it looks like Batman died, where he saved her life, where the explosion took place. And the three of them begin their hunt for what happened to Batman. No body was found. Then the Batman armory underneath Wayne Tower is attacked.
We are introduced to Lucius Fox, the supplier of Batman tech that works in the Wayne Tech division, Wayne Tower. So this
is who Morgan Freeman played.
Yep.
Yeah. So Lucius Fox and his son are introduced. Then is his name Damian? Okay, well, I guess we'll just explain it because we're doing all the spoilers anyway.
Whose name?
The leader
No. So there's a character that is introduced in this as the villain who's taking over a lot of the criminals and hiring a lot of the rogues gallery in Gotham from the other big crime bosses. And this character comes up and he's called Heretic. He's given. And so he's the main villain, and he's the one who breaks in and has some of these villains with him when they break into
Wayne Tech.
Steal the tech. He's the one who was actually there briefly with Batman when Batman died. So we're seeing this character start to pop up a little bit. Heretic, jacked as heck. He's got a Batman mask, kind of.
And he is better than Batman. Whatever genetic edge Batman has, Heretic is better.
Okay.
Does he kind of have a religious flair to him?
Let's just so Joseph just said that he was better. I just want to point out that Batman, the reason Batman basically died there is he had to save someone who he told to leave. So we don't actually know if he's any better. It's just that under the circumstances, Batman...
No. There's before the explosion, there's a moment where Batman goes head to head with Heretic, and Heretic is winning.
Well, yeah, because he keeps beating Batman with the girl.
I guess that's true.
She keeps
But
jumping in. Have you ever had a one-on-one fight where someone who is not helpful keeps jumping in and getting turned into a bludgeoning weapon that they hit you with and then gets thrown off a cliff, so you have to go save them? Like, that's not the optimum situation.
But
for you to
there
test
is a
your battle
reason why
prowess.
Heretic is so good. And
Yes,
we
he's so
learned
good.
that Heretic is Damian Wayne's clone who was with accelerated growth. So he is now a full-grown man in his prime while Damian is still a kid. And that's who Heretic is.
Okay.
And Heretic works for Talia Al Ghul.
Okay.
Batman did not die. They took him, and now they're having the Mad Hatter, Tetch, who is probing into his brain to find his secrets.
So this is for 2 weeks straight. Like,
Yeah.
Tetch clocks in early in the morning, rain, attack all freaking day, rinse, lather, repeat the next day for 15 straight.
And that's how they knew what was in the vault at Wayne Tech. And
They eventually broke Batman, but it took like 15 days.
so
But they're there to get the Bat Tech.
they're there to get the Bat Tech, yes.
New Batman, so Dick Grayson and Batgirl, they end up-
Batwoman.
Oh, Batwoman, excuse me.
It's an important difference. They're different
No,
people.
you're 100% right. It's a very important difference. They start looking for Bruce and trying to find him, and then Heretic actually ends up stealing Damian to protect him. And so when Batwoman and Nightwing go to find Bruce and Damian, oh my gosh, there's so many names now. So easy with like 3 of them. Now I gotta figure out all of these guys. I love the universe though. They have to go infiltrate this temple, or this not really a temple, but it seems like a temple because they have to fight nuns with samurai swords.
So it is a religious organization, but it is a crime front, right? And so they do have to fight through a ton of nuns who are armed with AK-47s.
and samurai swords.
Yeah.
So they're nunjas.
But the reason Heretic has kidnapped Damian is that Heretic feels broken and dysfunctional because he has no childhood. But Damian has a childhood, so he believes that he can get Tetch to steal that childhood and put it in his brain.
Oh.
And Talia
thereby giving him a soul.
Yeah. Talia's not okay with this, so she kills Heretic.
Right in front of Damian. And then she runs away and leaves Damian there. And then Damian and Bruce Wayne are saved. Except for the fact that people don't know Bruce Wayne has been successfully brainwashed. So
is Talia Batwoman?
No, Talia Ra's al Ghul, Damian's mother.
Okay.
Member of the League of Shadows, a very complicated person in Batman's life.
Okay.
So they had a relationship at some point, then he moved on. The League of Shadows wanted to recruit him. He wasn't interested. Talia is still in love with him. Talia date raped him, had a child. It's
normal loving mother things. So basically they all escape. They get back to the house. Batwing ends up saving them. So we learn about Batwing now. So Lucius's son is upset that his dad got injured. So he ends up finding out about the tech, and he finds a very advanced suit of armor. It's like Iron Man's suit of armor, but Batman style.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hence Batwing, and he ends up helping out. And then Batman wakes up after being saved, and he gets very upset and says, "You can't have any outsiders. I don't know these people.
Yeah,
I'll bring them into the family." And that's where we're going to leave it right now. Let's hop into a break.
All right. So we are talking about Badblood, and we've got Damian's mother back in the picture. We have a guy named Heretic, who is a accelerated clone of Damian, and I think this is the first time I've heard of cloning in the DC universe.
Definitely the first time it's come up in the New 52.
there was a break-in. Heretic is killed. Does that wrap it up for what we've covered so far?
Yes. And so now at this point, we have got Robin, we've got Batwing, we've got Batwoman. Like, we've introduced, there's a lot of new characters here. Nightwing and Batwing. We have both.
Oh, okay.
Right. Nightwing is Dick Grayson.
Batwing.
Batwing is Lucius Fox's son, and Batwoman. So these are three characters that we want to do some lore on each of them right now. We've talked about Nightwing a fair amount. This is Dick Grayson, the first Robin. He grows up, he goes off on his own, kind of becoming his own person. Nightwing. Damian, we've of course covered in detail. Right? He's got his own show twice over. But Batwoman is new, and so within the New 52, this is Catherine Kane. And she is the daughter of I believe he was a special forces high up in the military. And she experiences, like all Bat characters, she experiences some trauma and chooses to follow that. So she's different from Nightwing and Robin in that she's not brought into the Bat world by Bruce Wayne. She puts on the costume herself. She creates Batwoman on her own and goes out and does her thing, and she uses guns.
With rubber bullets.
Not in the beginning.
That's true, not in the beginning. But she does switch to it. She gets talked into it, and she's not happy about it.
Yeah, so she was in the military, and then her mother, her and her sister were kidnapped, and during the rescue, her sister and her mother were killed. And that just kind of messed her up for life. And she, as she tried to go on and pursue her dreams and future, she couldn't get over the trauma. And one night she is saved by Batman, and that is kind of the moment she decides she's gonna do that. And Batman's not really okay with it. Like,
well, also just the other small part there is she does that specifically because she never wants to be helped again. Like, she never wants to need Batman. So it was an empowering story. Anyways, continue.
So yeah, she turns herself into Batwoman, but as we see in the beginning, Batman doesn't want her out here, doesn't want her doing this. It's not cool with her taking his look, all of that.
Because he would have been able to beat Heretic in a fight if she wasn't distracting him.
When you put on the bat, you become a target for the crime world, right? They want to get rid of Batman. And so, part of it is she took on a greater risk putting on the mantle of a bat instead of just some other costume.
Picking a different nighttime
creature, right? Mm-hmm. Could have been a cat, could have been a rat, could have gone anything, but she went bat.
A flying rat.
Because it's original in Gotham.
So that is Batwoman and how she comes into this. Now, Nightwing does convince her to use rubber bullets instead of real ones. And then, of course, Batwing, like, we don't even get a lot of backstory, right? Like,
you know what his backstory is very similar to, Eli?
What?
Do you remember Cyborg?
Yeah.
His relationship with his dad?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but the dad and the son get along a little bit.
Okay. So
son's going to visit, dad's always busy.
Mm-hmm.
But like Vic Stone got really mad at his dad, whereas like Lucas is older. He's been to military, he's been to war, he's come back. He understands his dad has a life. So he's not mad. He has to keep scheduling. It's just
part
a little,
of the relationship.
Unhappy. He'd like to eat dinner with his dad, or at least be a part of his life somehow. So then he becomes Batwing.
Oh, okay.
Well, and I think part of it is he is having a conversation with his father when Heretic and his gang break in. They threaten to kill. What is his name? I cannot remember his first name.
Lucas.
Jeez, that is very similar to Lucius. Yeah, Lucas Fox.
I think I've said it a few times, but you haven't even heard the distinction.
Yeah, probably. So they threaten him and his father, and then they shoot his father. And that is kind of the moment when he decides to take on this technology that he's seen, that is Batwing, and use it. Again, there's kind of trauma, but less like childhood trauma, like most characters in the Bat gang. It's imminent, and he sees it as a way to, I guess, not feel so helpless.
They are kind of a Bat gang now, huh? Aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're, like I said, the introduction of 2 new bats in one go is a lot, and it really expands the Bat clan.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, from story opening to story credit, I feel like 2 bats is inaccurate.
2
How many
additional
bats are-
bats.
Well, I'm saying to the end of the movie. Like, if you were to watch the entire movie to its entirety, Joe, 2 is probably not the right number.
No, what am I missing?
The ending.
What happens in the end?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to get to the end after we
All
get
right.
to the
Well,
rest
it
of
turns
this.
out that Talia's plan was for Bruce Wayne to be rescued. And so there is a big summit that Bruce Wayne will be attending with world leaders introducing new tech. Mad Hatter, has set up this new tech to take over the brains of the world leaders attending this conference. And it is during that takeover that the rest of the Bat Gang realizes Bruce Wayne is having his brain controlled, and soon everybody else is too.
On that summit.
Yeah,
Not
on the
Bat
summit.
Family,
So they go to
because they
stop
have,
the
like,
summit.
Bluetooth earpieces that touches because he's mind controlling everybody. And so they've made these, and they're using Bruce Wayne as a front to get everyone to wear them, get everyone
Yeah.
together, using the summit, and then every world leader is now under control of the League of Shadows, putting it in a prime position to exist again.
Oh, okay. So this is like the rise of the second iteration of the League of Shadows.
Ra's al Ghul's League of Shadows, not Ra's, sorry, Talia al Ghul's League of Shadows, because
Yes.
Ra's is.
So, and there is definitely a moment when you realize how cold Talia is when she tells Batman to kill Robin. I will just make another one.
Oh, okay.
Because Batman's mind controlled, and then Dick gives a really good heartwarming speech because obviously he's the coolest character in the Bat family that ends up saving Batman and giving Bruce the strength to mentally overcome Tetch's mind control.
Okay.
Fantastically
Yeah.
done.
But yeah, so Talia then goes to make their escape once the whole Bat Clan has turned on her and she's lost Batman. And during her escape, so one of the early members of Heretic's gang was Onyx, is a woman, and she seemed to have feelings for him. And while Talia is escaping, or just loyalty, yeah. And while Talia is escaping, Onyx kills Talia, and then the ship she's escaping in crashes, and Onyx dies with her. And that is
comic book dies, so we're pretty sure she's dead.
So that is the end of Talia.
One really weird and like kind of tragic story though here is just if we go back to Talia's speech right before she runs away, she talks to Bruce about how no matter what she did, she would never be enough for him.
Well, he's never gonna love her for who she is because she's the criminal mastermind.
But like her speech was really good because she is an excellent manipulator. But if you just listen to it, it was just really sad because she was like, I had this kid, you didn't want to be around me and the kid, then I tried to do this, and then whatever else.
Yeah, nothing I could do would make you love me. Yeah.
And then right after, like very, very near to that, it was just like, you never loved us. They talk and Bruce was like, you never actually loved us. Because she just thought she did because she was so into manipulating people. And so
well, and I think Talia did love them in her own way, but she's just so manipulative and detached.
She was raised by Ra's al Ghul and never fought it, whereas our boy Damien did his Rom Kippur and had a little bit of a rebellion streak.
I mean, she's very complex as a character, particularly in the first time we see her in Son of Batman. We don't see the villain in her, right? We see the aggressiveness in trying to hunt down and save her son from Deathstroke, but we don't see the villain. But here we see the villain come out.
Yeah,
she is trying to take over the minds of world leaders so that she can control the world.
Which one is Onyx?
She wasn't really she was.
You don't get much. She wields a katana and she's a henchman for the Heretic. And that's about it. And she's really upset when the Heretic dies. And that is about all we know about Onyx, other than watching her fight a few times in some of the battles that take place.
Okay.
Oh, and then they had a really fun Indiana Jones scene in it. There was a ninja dude who's really good at like acrobatics and fighting. And so him and Nightwing are like doing a showdown. And he does this like dance off thing in front of like Nightwing to like intimidate him, and then a rock falls on him.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll probably what is it? I think Aaron mentioned that one of the cartoon series was based around Nightwing, where like Bruce is like an old man guiding not Nightwing, Batwing, right?
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond. Is that
Yes.
Batwing?
No, that is Terry McGinnis. That is set in the future, which would actually put that in Eli's jurisdiction, not yours, Joe. So that one he'd have to watch.
Okay.
Them's the rules.
So for some reason, I was thinking that Batman Beyond was not Lucas Fox. God, those are what are they doing?
Lucas Fox is pretty darn new. Batman Beyond was written in the late 1990s, like early 2000s, and then Batwing was like, I'm not gonna get it right, but like around 2010s.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, he's got cutting edge tech, whereas it seems like Batman really kind of holds on to this older look.
Well, keep in mind, Batman has the tech.
Yeah, he does.
Prefers to have a utility belt that has everything he needs, and punch people in the face. But I mean, he has a suit if he's punching.
I guess the Batwing suit was his. He had it made for something. He just never brought it out.
Tested.
Yeah. But yeah, so that really expands the Bat family. Like I said, we'll do a short on Batman and maybe some shorts on some of these other characters to really dive into it. But yeah, so that is Badblood, the massive expansion. So you said I missed a bat.
So at the very end of the movie, there's a scene where you see Batgirl standing on a rooftop and then jump off and grapple to the next building.
Oh, okay.
And so that it's just like a 4-second scene, but from tip to stern of the movie, technically 3 are introduced.
So yeah, it's a lot of new heroes for one.
And I did want to touch on one thing, because you mentioned how in the New 52 we talked about Flashpoint and the Flash and just how big the New 52 can be. You have these characters that can run through space and time and change reality. And then we focused on something so intimate as some guy without superpowers and his family, and the intricacies and the importance of that within the New 52 universe and how that reacts to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And we'll see how Batman now reintroduces himself and like works within the rest of the world and with the other superheroes, because obviously we're going to see Batman working with other characters as we go through the rest of the show or the universes.
All right. So does it keep focusing these stories? Are we going to keep focusing on Batman, or are we going to branch out to the other?
We're starting
Justice
to branch
League?
out now. That was really the wrap up of Batman. We're now going to start stepping into widening the scope. So what's coming up next, just a couple teasers, is we're going to see Damian Wayne have to go to boarding school, basically. He has to go make friends. So we're going to be introduced to the Teen Titans. Mm-hmm. Batman's going to be introduced to magic and not apocalyptic, but like hell and like demons.
Oh,
so he's gonna start interacting with some characters that know that stuff. So we're going to meet some of those. Again, I told you about Constantine. I think you're really going to like him.
Right.
We're going to learn about Raven, who demonic backstories.
Cool.
So we're going to start diving into some really cool stories going forward. And they're going to start branching out into bigger and bigger again. So
what is our treasure room question?
If you were going to join the Bat family, what would you call yourself?
All right. Catch you guys in the treasure room.